My name is Raj Chaudhry. I'm CFO of Nibbi. Nibbi is a San Francisco-based general contractor. We've been in the business for about 75 years. Me, myself, I've been in the industry 30 plus years, longer than I like to admit. My main role as CFO these days seems to do with risk management, and that seems to be the trend across the industry. So I spend a lot of my time just kind of managing the risk, which includes our subcontractor pool. Sometimes you spend a lot of time and money in pre-construction and you don't wind up getting the job, which obviously hurts, when you don't make the sale. But in terms of actual cost for projects that we do get, actually varies. It's about 0.4 to 0.7% of our project costs are related to pre-construction. So we go into a project and our fee is about 3.5 to 4% for profit and overhead. So imagine that if your fee is only 4% and you've already sunken, you've already lost 0.4 to 0.7% of that in pre-construction that you don't recover. So now your fee is closer to 3%. So it is actually a big cost driver in our business. Obviously, there's HR, there's IT, there's a lot of corporate overhead. But in terms of overall, pre-con is easily 30 to 40% of our overall non-billable overhead. And people don't realize this, but we usually give somebody, let's call it a free estimate, but it's not just one estimate. They give you a set of drawings that might be 25% complete, and they want you to get a budget based on that. Then you get a 50%, a 70%, a bid set. So you're constantly repricing the same project over and over again until you finally get to the final set of drawings and your final bid set documents. And even then, sometimes the clients come back, they want to do value engineering. So the job of an estimator is just kind of repeating the pricing exercise as better drawings come out and as clients want to change things and do value engineering. So again, that's, it's kind of a thankless job that you do so many reiterations of the price. Just think of it this way in terms, of CFO math. Our hit rate is about 25%. So a quarter of the jobs we pursue, we actually get under contract. And our volume is about 500 million a year. So if your hit rate is 25% and you want to do 500 million a year, then you have to pursue $2 billion worth of work every year to get 25% to get to your 500 million. If we're pursuing a $100 million job, we'll spend $300,000 to $400,000 easy in pre-construction costs. Especially here in the Northern California market, there are stiff penalties for not making your hiring goals, your contracting goals. And those penalties go into the six figures. So that is a big exposure, not only for us as a GC, but for our subcontractors. Some of these subcontractors are small shops. If they get a $100,000 penalty, they might be out of business. That might sink their entire, company. Today, Pegbo does the work of maybe 2 or 3 of my pre-con coordinators that would normally have to do the outreach, go to these events, make inroads, find these hyper-local, these small businesses, see if they're viable, see if they can actually do the work, if they can do the work safely, and if they can make money doing it, because there's no point of them taking on a contract that they would lose money doing. So that requires a lot of time and effort on our end. The thing I like most about Pegbo is not that, it's the CFO math is easy when you say, hey, I need to spend 2 or 3 bodies to do the work that they're doing. Why don't I just pay them to do it? That part, that math is easy, right? That's definitely a return on investment there. But here's the part that I think it's really differentiating. My team can do this work, but they don't have the passion that Pegbo does. Meeting with Amar and just listening to how he approaches this outreach, he is truly passionate about bringing all these hyper-local, these small subcontractors into the fold and getting them in front of GCs like myself and saying, hey, we vetted these people. We think they're a good fit, give them this opportunity to bid on your projects. Again, the passion that the Pegbo team brings, I don't think that's something that my team can replicate.